Hi everybody, I'm Matt Anderson, and in this video what I want to talk about is connecting your purpose in life to shifting identity, to who you want to become in the world. And you may recall from some of the previous videos that I've made, my focus in terms of helping people, helping you get the life you really want, like truly live the person you want to be, involves 5 major processes. It involves shifting identity, it involves creating 1, 2, 3 awesome power habits, understanding how to ask anyone for anything, turning great relationships into real advocates, and then getting out of your own way is the biggest obstacle. Today, where I want to focus things is connecting a couple of different dots to say that all the people I've coached have got phenomenal results. Yes, they ask themselves the question, what type of person do I want to be? Which is the shifting identity piece. But what if you really want to add massive fuel to that, then connect it to what drives you the most. Like, what are the most important things in your life that you want to impact? And I'm going to start with a story, which I know I don't normally do, but last week I spoke at a conference and there was a young woman there, certainly young by my standards, she can't have been more than 30, who was achieving unbelievable results. And her story was just a real tearjerker. I mean, it kind of, almost tore your heart out, because in her 20s, her husband had been diagnosed with terminal 4 cancer, and they racked up horrendous medical bills. And I'll never forget, she said that it was, unbelievably humiliating because they couldn't afford to pay for things. And this experience, which unfortunately also included her husband passing away, led to her to go into a sales role where she had a reason to talk to people. And needless to say, that gave her unbelievable fuel. In fact, she didn't even need to explain what her purpose was. She just said, my goal became to talk to as many people as I want to. In other words, that really became her identity. Like, she saw herself as someone, as I don't want any other human being to have to go through what I went through. Now, that gave her the fuel to then power through that identity piece. And it's a very impactful story, and I'm sharing it because it's a recent one and it really stuck in my head, but also because it's easy to understand, right? She had of course we can understand why she had that kind of leverage on herself. Where my heart goes out, actually, as much though, is to everybody else. Because if you haven't had major trauma, or if you haven't had a real tragedy in your life, in your personal life, then it's easy to say, well, it's, I don't have that kind of leverage on myself. I didn't break my neck in a water skiing accident. I haven't had a near-death experience, or, I haven't had a loved one, I haven't had a young sibling die in a car accident, because often those types of situations can lead people to go on to amazing things. So really, the reason I'm sharing all of this is for you to ask yourself, what can I do to put that fuel into the tank, so that when I say to myself, I'm going to shift identity by becoming increasingly confident, bold, better with prospecting, whatever it is that's important to you, healthier, right? You've got the fuel. So my suggestions today are threefold. One is the easiest place to focus on what some people call their mission statement. Other people just refer to it as what's your why, is to look at your roles in life, your different family roles, your professional roles, maybe community and any social roles you've got, and start with what you want to accomplish in those areas. Not necessarily goals, but like how you want people to think of you at your funeral when you live out those roles. So that's an easier place to start. And then another great place to go with this would be to sort of say, what are the big 5 in my life? Like, what are the 5 most important things in my life that I want as my driving purpose, as my mission? So that's another great way to look at it. What are your big 5? And that could be, again, obviously loved ones, but then also something professional or cause that you're passionate about, or your faith, something like that. And then another variation on that would be to actually brainstorm what author Stephen Kotler talks about in his book, The Art of Impossible, a massively transformative purposes. So that's like for and no offense, I mean, this isn't going to appeal to everybody, but this is what drove the Gandhis of the world, the Martin Luther Kings, the Nelson Mandelas, the Mother Teresas. But many of us, are involved with charities and non-profits and churches and so on and so forth. So it's like, what are the big causes that might be a part of that as well? And maybe it's down the road. But my point is this is just smart fuel in the tank. And these are things that you may not even fully ever accomplish in your lifetime, and some of them are things you might need to get done in the next month. So I'm just trying to give you lots of things to choose from. For those of you that don't have major trauma in your life and are looking for feeling maybe a little on the flatter side, look for those things as your source, all right? Because that will then shift into your identity, and then, oh my goodness me, every single day you're going to go full guns blazing, or at least most of the time. It's going to be easy to get back into things because you've got that sense of purpose, that stronger why. So My call to action for you would be work on any of those things, the roles version, the purpose piece, or the big five, any of those things, and then keep them in your face on a daily basis. And that's going to give you the impetus, the desire, the momentum, and the drive to be making those calls, getting that exercise in, facing those fears on a daily basis. Otherwise, I can't wait to share more content like this on upcoming videos. Also, don't forget to click subscribe below. Look forward to seeing you soon.